Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading, and this is for the first 10 days of August. Gemini, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Gemini, we all have a little bit of Gemini in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Gemini in? That could give you an idea of where this information is most prominent for you. Also, this is a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. So we do have the Hanged Man here. The Hangman is the underlying energy for the entire reading. And the Hangman is hanging from the tree of knowledge. He's hanging upside down because he wants to look at a problem or something he's trying to solve that he wants to see it from every single angle. And upside down is the opposite of right side up. So what better way to get on every angle? And once he has his aura lit up, it means that, okay, now I'm ready to come down from the tree of knowledge. I think I know what to do now, and this is the action that I'm going to move forward with. We have also for the internal forces in this reading, which is representing the bottom half of this spread, we have the Ace of Wands. So the aces, when they come in, it's always talking about brand new energy coming in. This is a gift from the divine as well as the universe collaborating to bring you a new passion for discovery. So this is saying like seeing life from a totally different angle as in this energy, and really feeling passionate about moving forward with new energy. And the self-image that you have right now, good for you. You recognize you're a star and this is the energy you're in. So it's saying that you understand that you have your own special qualities to add to the universal pool of life. You're following your destined, your divine path. The North Star energy is here. This is the North Star representing that you're following the North Star, which is your, the best version of you. And this energy that you're pouring into the universal pool, you then are pouring out to add to the beauty of the earth. And this is talking, there's 5 different streams here, and these 5 streams are talking about the pentacle energy. So this is talking about the 5 points on the pentacle representing earthly matters. So bringing down your galactic gifts, your universal gifts down to the earth and making it a better place. We also have the stars in the background here. The 7 stars are from the stellar sisters, 7 stellar sisters of the Pleiades. Now we have the energy of the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands, we're talking about a rebel with a cause. So this is the element of fire. The wand energy, wands are made of wood, which fuels fire. And so this is about taking passionate action. The Knight of Wands is a rebel with a cause. He, in the past, he's been quite impulsive and he can be a bit of a hothead, but he recognizes that. So he's learned to, before taking action, to rein himself in, control those emotions and discipline his mind not to be impulsive and make decisions that he would regret later. The energy is talking about moving forward with heartfelt energy and passion. And the Knight of Wands represents the energy of someone who is very optimistic and they enjoy the wonders of the world, represented by the pyramids here. This is someone that is enthusiastic about life and willing to tackle new problems, look at things from a new angle. Someone who has this passion within. And then we have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords are similar to the Knight of Wands energy. It is talking about some sort of information or communication coming in. Now, we all already know that a gift is coming with this Ace of Wands with a passion for new discovery. So there could have been some information about this, and now the Page of Swords energy is coming in as well. Page of Swords is talking about the element of air and basically your thoughts. And so the swords represent your mental intelligence, your discipline of the mind. This is about, out of all the four pages, this page is the only one that's not really focused on his element, the sword. What he's looking at is away from the sword because he already understands that there's a logical question. He wants to think outside the box and look for a creative solution by using his intuition. So this sword has a double edge. One edge represents your intuition and the other edge represents your logical mind. If you use the two together, you quite often are going to come up with creative solutions that will really move you forward in profound ways rather than the same old, boring, usual way of doing things. And the Page of Swords energy, they would work for the king and queen from a very young age, around 7 to 14. And this can be significant as to what age it is that, or the time frame of this communication. It could represent a time that you maybe were in when you were in elementary school, high school, just starting out in university or college, or in the workforce. This can talk about that time frame that something happened back then. If you think back, it can also talk about somebody that you met back then. Maybe you haven't seen them in years. It's like maybe you haven't seen them since kindergarten, but it's talking about some energy from the past back then, under the age of 21, kind of. And this can also be talking about that exuberance for life, that, not necessarily someone who is that age or from that time, but who has that passionate energy, that enthusiasm of youthfulness for life. You could be 80 and be in that energy. The Page of Swords also represents some information or communication coming in. And, in the old days, both of these would always be male. Now, just remember that all of the characters in tarot are actually archetypes, so they don't represent male and female. They represent masculine and feminine energy. So this could be a woman coming in her masculine energy. Now, these days, the information could be a telephone call, a text message. You might even get something in the mail. This could be documents of some sort. There could be, someone could message you on social media. You could attend an event and then run into someone in person, and they would have exactly the information you need. This can also be coming from yourself. And an epiphany that you have, one of those aha moments where you're like, aha, I have it. I know exactly what I need to do. Like a breath of fresh air, you get it. And it's really like you get excited about it and you're passionate about it because this is going to work and you just know it. And so the energy can also talk about keeping an eye on what's happening at the top of the pyramid, whatever's going on with the leaders of the countries and the elite. They're setting the trends, and that can be very powerful information for you, especially when it comes to business or, trend setting, that type of energy. Now, the Page of Swords is sometimes representing an energy of like a spy energy or, information coming in from technology. This can be like, it's like an investigation energy. This could be a legal or an illegal investigation using hidden cameras and other technology like hot mics, etc. It could, it's kind of like spy energy, or maybe a private detective that you've hired to look into something and they're coming back with some information for you. So this is how you identify with yourself. This is about going after your abundance, and this is talking about when you were younger and maybe someone from that time frame or something that happened then, that some information is coming in and it causes a tower. Now, the tower is, it's a very uncomfortable place to be. You can see lightning has hit the tower. 2 people are falling out. One of them is really, really shocked. And the other one is like, I knew I should have taken care of this. The tower energy is talking about when your intuition is whispering to you and you don't hear it. And then you get the frying pan over the head treatment, whack, pay attention, but you still aren't listening to your intuitions. It's trying to tell you, hey, There's something that's not sitting right, and you can feel it, but you're not wanting to pay attention to it. And then, you know, it can be the 2x4, and after that, lightning strikes your tower. Like, it just keeps getting louder and louder, the universe, until you have to pay attention. This is a reality check that you need. And so if you're on the right side of the law, both spiritual and in the 3D, this, you might, you know, a while later, it's uncomfortable. There's no getting around it. This is going to have to be rebuilt. It's in flames, right? And so it's talking about, you know, it's uncomfortable, but you might say later, wow, thank God that happened, because it was really hard to go through, but I really needed that reality check. It could have been even worse. And then the energy, it's also is talking about, you know, if you're on the wrong side of this tower, the shift hit the fan, basically, and you're going to have to deal with the consequences of whatever you've done here, whatever actions you've taken or not taken. There's no escaping it. And it could be very public as well. And then we have the Empress energy here. So the Empress energy is sitting here in, this is how your emotional energy feels right now. Like something kaboomed when this information came in. And it's interesting because this is from your, you know, like under the age of 21 sometime. It doesn't have to be. It could also be someone that you haven't seen for 7 years, 14 years, 21 years, that's somehow connected to this reality check. The Empress energy, generally in the upright, she will, you know, be someone who's a very powerful manifester. She can also be pregnant with possibility. And I'm wondering, you know, look at the anatomy of the tower and look at, you know, the energy of this. And there's kind of been a rogue Empress running around in my readings lately. So I'm not 100% sure that this Empress is on the upright. She's following a tower. And I don't know, I just don't get that the energy is necessarily, this is like creativity, romance, and children. I don't know. I don't get that. I feel like there could be some sort of information that came in that about this Empress energy. Now, she could be an authority figure. She could be someone that, you know, the universe has been like trying to tell you this person does not have your best interests at heart here. So let's just keep going and see, because sometimes the Empress can talk about moving into being an Empress, but I'm just not with this energy, not with the spy energy, the rebel with a cause energy. I feel like there's something deeper going on. So we have the King of Pentacles energy, and the King of Pentacles is talking about the energy of, you know, having a very luxurious lifestyle. The grapes all over the king's robe are representing, in tarot, grapes represent luxury and luxurious items. Like grapes are hard to grow, and if the emperor can grow or the King of Pentacles can grow them, or grow, it's saying that he can provide a luxurious lifestyle. And this energy is in your daily habits, routines, etc. So this could be your energy. You could be someone that's good with money, good with business. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're in the field of the banking industry and that, but quite often it does represent that energy, or hiring someone. And like we already have this investigative energy, this could be an auditor or something like that. You know, this quite often will represent, you know, people in the banking industry, and it would be at least a bank manager or higher. It could also represent the energy of, you know, financial advisors, accountants, wealth management, retirement planning, you know, trusts, inheritances, all of that, estates, that type of energy. It also can represent real estate for sure, because this is matters of the earth. And so that's what the pentacle represents, the earthly matters and physical matter on the earth. So this could actually represent real estate. If this is real estate agent, it would be someone who would be dealing with higher end properties, most likely established, and It could be mortgage brokers. This also could represent, land developers, contractors, people who are building homes and offices and, condos, etc., developers. This energy could also represent like mining for gold, silver, diamonds, gas, oil, the stock market, and the mortgage brokers as well for the real estate. So you get the picture. This could also be like an entrepreneur that's very, very successful, or even the head financial person for like whatever country that's in. They'd be called different things, but a minister that is in charge of the budget, like the federal budget or provincial budget or state budget, in the United States. I'm not sure exactly what the correct word is for that, but you get the picture. So this is someone that you might hire to do an audit or something. It could be, or you're being audited, or something's going on here. Someone's wanting to look at something closer. And you yourself have a passion for new discovery. So this is, saying that you want this to happen. You're in this star energy, and you're wanting to, you want the lifestyle that you were meant to have, not the lifestyle that you're in right now. And this Empress energy could represent that, but it also, just the fact that it's following this tower, we'll see. So the external forces are not, you can't control the external forces like you can the internal forces. Internal forces, you're always better off to respond to the energy than to react to it. And with the external forces, you quite often don't have that option, but you can control how, whether you do respond or react to external energy. You can't make someone love you or control what other people say or do. You can just make sure that your response is going to be the most beneficial one for you. Now, the external forces, let's see what's from the bottom of the deck for the overall energy, is the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups energy, now this would be a queen that would most likely be in a traditional marriage. It could be like someone, it can represent the maternal bloodline as well. And quite often it does. Like this, especially lately, there's been a lot of this energy about DNA coming out. And the maternal bloodline, the mitochondria in our cells, that's the battery of our cells, is passed down from the mother to both sons and daughters, but it is only carried and passed down to the next generation through the daughters. So when they're doing DNA tests, they can follow the mitochondria, use that part of the cell to be able to detect the DNA, to track a maternal bloodline way back, and through the daughters, basically. And so this energy is talking about, it could be talking about that type of energy. It could also be, someone who it would be most likely in a traditional marriage, someone that, would be quite often a stay-at-home mom, like maybe someone that enjoys, her main focus is the home, having a beautiful home, making beautiful meals, and she's usually involved in the community, that type of energy. So we do have her cup of love is like a trophy, and that's like she is considered to be the most motherly and maternal, and she also has a lid on this, saying that she's a container of unconditional love. Now, with these two cards together, there could be a pregnancy, and that could be this maternal energy coming through it as well. So it's sort of coming up in another way here. So we'll have to just keep going and see. We do have use your intuition. This card has been coming in a lot. It's not unusual right now. Tomorrow night we will have the full moon, and this energy, the full moon on the 29th. I just did a reading about that for each of the signs. So if you want to check on the full moon, new moon playlist, you could find it there if you want to go deeper into the information. But just, when there is a full moon, there's a lot of emotion around that. And quite often you're way more intuitive as well. You may notice this in your dreams, that your dreams are really, you might remember them a little bit more. And it's just saying your intuition is peaked at this time. The High Priestess, she is very joyful. She sits at the foot of God's throne. And this is talking about all the information coming in. She sits between these two totally different, extremely different pillars. And all this information is coming at her, and she has to sort through all that information. And that's basically how it is for us these days. Quite often people will say, oh, it feels like time's speeding up. And, information equals energy. So the more energy, the faster we go. And so, with the AI coming in, it's kind of changing the game a little. Although, the thing is when we get inundated with all this information, it can be very overwhelming. And these days, like especially with the AI, like, I don't know, it was supposed to make life easier, but did it? Because now we have to double and triple check that everything that we're watching isn't totally fake. So, it has its uses. You can save some time if you use it correctly, but you can't rely on it being the truth. There's so much fake, and it's getting better at being able to make things that are fake look real. So you're better off relying on your intuition in many ways. And so sometimes people will confuse their brain with their mind. Your mind is that your will and the thought process and how you decide you're going to carry yourself. Whereas the brain is your central nervous system. It's basically your brain elements and the elements of your spine. And that's where all the sensations in your body come from, is from that central nervous system. So, if you learn to listen to that energy, or to feel it, you're really, your intuition can really sharpen. So you ask the question with your logical mind, and then you stop thinking and you feel. What is your body telling you? Psychosomatically, like you'll feel like if you even are, let's say she asks a question and she gets 5 answers, and they're all logical, they all could work, but she wants to know which one is the best one for me. Like, just because it's good for someone else doesn't mean it's going to be perfect in my situation. I want the best answer. And so she stops thinking and she feels. What is her body telling her? Like if she's reading one of the answers and feels like an elevator dropping, plunk, that feeling. That is like, that's when people say, trust your gut, that dropping feeling. Quite often when someone is energetically weak to something, that's the answer. That's the way, the sensations they'll feel in their body. It's different for everybody. You have to work on figuring out what your body is telling you. It's going to be different for every person. But, the strong answer could have you wanting to straighten out your spine, and, you feel like, that's it. Aha, I know that's the one. It's that type of energy. So if you do that, you're much more likely to get a creative solution that's really going to benefit your situation. And you keep doing that, it adds up. So, and the High Priestess, she is sitting between two extremes. This one represents Jesus, and this pillar represents the devil. So you don't get much more opposite than that. Now, this energy is saying be very intuitive regarding the people that you make commitments with, including your spousal energy and any business partners or partnerships that you have with other people. Friends, family, people that you allow in your inner circle. This is saying make sure you use your intuition about who that is and how much you tell them. And then we have the Hermit energy. So the Hermit is representing this energy that quite often is representative of this Tower energy. It's like when a dark night of the soul hits, and like this hit hard, and it shook your very foundation, and you're wondering, what do I do now? And, really, like on a shaky foundation at this time. So the best thing you can do is go inward and meditate and pray. And that's represented by the Hermit climbing a mountain and staying up there and isolating themselves until the lantern that they're holding here is full of the energy of this North Star energy. So you're back on track on your destined path. And when the rod that he's holding here becomes golden from the light of the North Star, it's time to take action. This is the action I'm going to take. And he comes down from the mountain or the tree of knowledge here and takes some sort of action. And I feel that this action is taken with passion now, because it's like, I know what I know. I know this is what I'm going to do, and it causes, a major transition. I think I'm getting the hiccups. I heard another reader say that it's spiritual hiccups, and he gets it. And sometimes, it's just the hiccups hit every once in a while when you're doing readings. And so this energy here is the Seven of Swords energy. The shift disturber has been taking a rest for a while, but he's back out in these readings here for this beginning of August energy. He wasn't around for most of July. It was kind of a nice change in some ways. Sorry, shift disturber, but really. So this is the Seven of Swords. The energy is like a walking contradiction. It's annoying energy. It's like there's two swords planted here. He has to look over his shoulder. He's traveling forward, but looking backward. And he's got these two planted, but then he's sneaking off with these five. And it's like, what is he doing? He's got this bright red hat on and bright red boots. Like, you can see him a mile away. He's in broad daylight. So if he's stealing the swords, well, he's doing it in broad daylight. Everyone can see him. And because the swords represent the element of air, and they represent your thoughts, this is an energy of mental intelligence and discipline of your mind. And it could represent intellectual material that he's sneaking away with, patents or something like that. And the energy also could be someone who's in broad daylight sitting at his desk, and he comes into work, and while he's sitting at his desk, he's instead of doing his job, what he's doing is embezzlement and identity theft and counterfeit energy. He's pushing paper, and it looks like he's doing his job, but it's kind of an energy of he comes in early, he shows up late, he leaves late, he goes for lunch, and he's in a good mood, and he's a hard worker, but what is he really doing at work? And what bothers me about this energy more than anything is the fact that he is, he's not watching where he's going. And look how he's carrying the swords. Like, who carries swords like that? These are so super sharp that, it doesn't even make any sense, does it? Like, and it's very dangerous. And if he's that careless with his own energy, how careful do you think he's going to be with yours? So this is, a transition happening. This could be an energy that you're saying goodbye. See you later, or not, that type of energy. There could be, and we'll see if we can identify a little bit better what that energy is. But basically, this is in your higher learning. I feel like you learn something. Like, look at, we have the sword energy, and it may be about that. And because it's saying use your intuition in your partnerships, this could be someone, because this can sometimes represent the 7-year itch as well. And statistically, if you get married and you're going to get divorced, it's generally, like, I didn't know, the most often it's in the first year. Imagine that. And then I hope it wasn't a real expensive wedding. And then the energy, or the most likely time after that is in between the 7th and 8th year. So this is like the 7-year itch, and sneaking away, maybe having a tryst with someone while he's on his lunch hour. And that's why he's so invigorated when he gets back, And so a lot of marriages dissolve around between the 7th and 8th year as well. And that's why it's called the 7-year itch. And it also happens in businesses where all of a sudden someone doesn't want to be in a business anymore, or when they purchase houses, and they're, or, you know, like they're in a home and they just say one day, I can't live here anymore, I want to move. And it's kind of like, see ya, you know, it's that type of energy. So this can be talking about your higher learning, something that you've learned about someone that's in your inner circle here. And then we have the energy of the Chariot. So the Chariot is saying that you're like this divine path energy, like once you start to really start to get, oh, okay, the Tower hits and you realize, whoa, there's been a lot of shift going on behind me that I didn't know was going on. You might have been busy at work doing whatever, you know, or just having, you know, faith in the people around you, and are finding out that there's some people in your inner circle that maybe are not on the same path as you. And so this energy, the Chariot, is like a tank. It's like, boom, boom, boom. Once you're on it, it just runs over obstacles and it gets you where you need to go. Like there's not even any reins here. So this is talking about, you know, moving forward in and being on your spiritual path. And you notice here, this sometimes means that you have to leave your comfort zone and leave the city, you know, that you're from, or leave people that you've been associating with. And this can represent actually relocating, like actually picking up and moving. It could be a new vehicle that you're getting, that type of energy, or that you have travel plans, or someone else has travel plans. And this is in the energy of your career and reputation. And then we have the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is in a big cloud. These 7 cups are in a big cloud of smoke. Now, this is the only cups of love energy we have here. And I find it interesting that it's the 7 of Swords and the 7 of Cups here. And this is talking about opportunities that have been presented to you, but they're kind of like smoke and mirrors kind of energy, where you maybe didn't recognize them as opportunities because they're wrapped up in challenges, or maybe they've been presented in a way that's not clear. So this can, you know, the cups of, you know, cups in tarot do represent love. And usually, you know, quite often they do represent romantic love, but they also can represent love of family or friends or children, whatever, anything. And as well, it can represent something you love to do or something you love to be. And, you know, it's kind of interesting because there is no cups of love in this except for this one. Now, that could be someone that you want to have a romantic relationship with, but this could also be representing maternal energy, something that goes back to your childhood. And it could involve like an inheritance or something, because we've got a little bit of that energy. Like when we look here, we have some legal cards here with the energy just the way it is. We have, you know, the rebel with a cause trying to find the answers, what's really going on. And we have this, you know, investigative energy here as well. We have the Tower, which is a reality check. And we have, you know, the passion for new discovery and like really having to look at things from all angles. This can also represent law enforcement coming in, and this could be a thief, you know. So there is some sort of energy around that. But like the cups, there's not really like a straightforward, okay, this is about romance energy. So it's more about people in your inner circle, I feel. But in any case, the smoke and mirrors energy is talking about, you know, these cups are not really clearly opportunities. Some of them are, you know, wrapped up in this smoke. And so they could be challenges that are possibilities wrapped in challenges. You're like a black hole sucking in opportunity, but like a black hole, you are the center of your universe, and you're the one who's going to have to discern whether you want to look for the possibilities in these cups. And I'm just with this energy here, this could be talking about this external forces energy of having a lot of opportunities to sneak around. But we're going to read it as if it's coming towards you as opportunities here. This could be like beauty. And so you could be very beautiful. Your outer beauty is, you know, you have a lot of outer beauty, which is beautiful. And having said that, sometimes if people focus only on their outer beauty, it stunts their inner beauty, and then you don't appear as beautiful because you have no inner beauty. Then there's this energy of someone hiding underneath this shroud. And this energy, we don't know what's under there. It could be good, bad, it could be ugly, you know, it could be beautiful. We don't know. This here is talking about, you know, a yellow-bellied coward slithering through the grass, sneaking around, or it could be an opportunity for you to shed your skin and release anything that is standing in your way of having the success you want. This is a castle. Now, you know, castles are beautiful to have, but, you know, they're usually built on the sides of hills and they're expensive to keep. So the thing is, sometimes they can be very isolating. Sometimes you could be house poor and putting more energy into the costs of your home than you would like. This could represent the energy, the flowers, are the petals opening up and as beautiful as they can be, or are you keeping them closed? The laurel wreath often represents victory, but it can also be laid on a coffin. And the dragon energy is talking about, are you afraid of dragons? Do you think they're evil? Or do you see them as powerful energy that is able to bring in good luck and fortune? So it just depends on your perspective here. And it also could be representing the Seven of Swords energy, having all these opportunities on his lunch hour, you know. And then we have an Ace of Cups coming in. I do feel that this is saying you need to look into your inner circle, what's going on, making sure that, because this is a presentation of a new passion, new love, coming in, and this is in your position of like the spiritual side of you, that there is justice being brought in. And as long as you're on your path, this energy is bringing in like a divine love for you, a love that sometimes this can even just talk about loving yourself enough to find out the truth and be passionate about life again and have love for yourself. But it quite often is representing a romantic love that's overflowing and everlasting, and it's peaceful. There's a dove there, and out of all the mud, all the dirt that you've gone through, there's beautiful flowers, the water lilies growing. So it can represent that energy, especially in this position here. So you're going to have to decipher that, use your intuition, which parts of this reading resonate with you. I'm going to clarify for those that want further clarification with the oracle cards. And the oracle is Tales from the Vector, and it's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. If you're leaving the reading here, I just wanted to mention there's not a lot of new energy in the beginning of August, but we're still dealing with some of the older energy, which, you know, there was quite a few astrological influences. We do have that full moon coming up tomorrow night. And then on August 12th, we have a new moon that's going to be a total solar eclipse. But I'm going to do a separate reading for that energy coming up right after this one, before that August 12th new moon. Generally, the information, the one thing, Chiron is going retrograde on August 3rd. And so that can be about your health, you know, your mental health, your physical health, and setting goals to be, you know, at your best level there. But other than that, it's kind of the old energy that's been around, you know, that we're still dealing with from the last 6-7 months. We've had a lot of astrological shifts. None of it has really come up so much in this reading. So I feel like this is just saying this is kind of an extension of what was like a month ago. It's the same, like we don't need any more serious astrological influences. We've had a lot. We did have Mercury in retrograde, and now it's gone direct on the 23rd of July. So now that energy is, the communication is starting to become more clear. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you so much for your time and your energy. I really appreciate your likes, comments, shares, subscribes. I'm going to continue clarifying now for those that want further clarification. So we have the numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they're listed in the gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And I will put them in the order they appear here in the description box below. Whoops, this one goes here. In the description box below, and I will, if you want, you can look them up. They say a painting can paint 1,000 words, and maybe this will give you further clarity. Definitely, we have this already coming in. These cards, when I clarify with my oracle cards, quite often I get a lot more clarification because it's a slightly different angle that we're looking at it from, and it's landed right here on the Hangman. But this is the sign of Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and it's this energy that one of the main planetary shifts that we're really experiencing on the planet right now is Uranus. Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini about 2 months ago now. And it's going to be here in the sign of Gemini for until 2033. So 7.5 to 8 years from the time I'm doing this reading. And the energy of Uranus and Gemini, bottom line is it wants Uranus and Gemini wants the truth to come out. And the last time Uranus was in Gemini was 1941 to 1949 when World War II was happening. It was really significant then. And we're still learning the truths about that energy now. So when we go all the way back to your childhood energy here, and the maternal bloodline, it can sometimes have an effect on that, and it has come up here. So basically, Uranus is a pain in the butt for anyone who doesn't want the truth to come out. Also, when I do have horoscope signs come up in my readings, I want you to be aware I'm not talking about individual people. I'm talking about the quality of each sign. If you ever get your birth chart done, we have all the signs in there somewhere, and this can give us a lot of information about how each sign has its strengths and weaknesses and its specialty. And so this energy coming in, I feel, is talking about Uranus in Gemini and the truth of some sort of situation coming out. And we also have a new passion for discovery, falling and failing in love is a matter of eye. And this is about healing your heart chakra, maybe after having Mr. Sneaky here, looking at all these opportunities, unraveling them. And this is talking about this energy, having a new passion maybe for love. But it's also the falling star energy is talking about opening your heart chakra back up. And that falling and failing in love is a matter of eye. So what that means is that you have to love yourself enough to heal your heart and decide that you love yourself enough that you deserve to have all the love in your life that you deserve in your inner circle, and especially in your significant other. And if you don't have that, then maybe it's time to take a look at what's stopping that, or what can you do about it, look into it. We have the Tower here, and we have the Tower here. The Tower knocks you, I think, when you fall off the Tower here, you're like, you land in this star energy. It kind of wakes you up. I feel like that's the energy, because we start the reading off, but the Tower energy here is about using your intuition as to what's happening around you. And that's when you start to really start looking into things. And there's this karmic space of the need to be right. So the need to be right is talking about, you don't know, like this is a karmic space we can fall into where we would rather be right than happy. Like, I'm right, I'm always right, and you're always wrong. Well, that doesn't work out so well for most people. But if there's times where you really do need to be right, and you need to be right about this energy, your intuition is telling you, you need to look into something. And so this can be about making mountains out of molehills, but it also can be talking about making molehills out of mountains. And then we have the Empress energy here. So, yeah, I'm not 100% certain about this Empress in this situation. We have the Hierophant on her as well, and she follows the Tower. I feel like this could be someone who's in an authority figure or considered to be the maternal figure of your mother's bloodline at this time. Not in the most clean energy, let's put it that way. So the Empress usually is has all the qualities of all four queens. She's in the upright, very, well, I explained her energy. But this is talking about someone, there's been in some of the readings lately, there's been this rogue Empress energy, which is like a real bitch, bottom line. And remember, this also can, all of the characters in tarot are not gender specific. They can be, they're talking about masculine and feminine energy. So this could be a male that's being really bitchy. I don't know, it could be. And we have this energy here, like, falling out of the tower. And the tower in my oracle is divorce. The worst divorce would be from source, from not being on your destined path. There could be a divorce here from this energy. There's an explosion and possibly a pregnancy here. So, and now we have this Empress on this looking into things, and then bang, the Hierophant is right on this energy. And that the Hierophant is talking about the Empress. The Hierophant is the traditional structures of justice, and we have that coming in here. And now we're talking about bringing this justice down to the physical plane, and that's what we have with the Chariot, that it's already happening, and it's sitting right on the Empress. And then we have, she might be in some sort of traditional structure that she has authority to have caused, I don't know, whatever energy, it's someone, the energy doesn't feel like it's straight up. And then we have the Temperance energy, and it's talking about staying on your destined path and all the lifestyle that you get from that. And, with Chiron, is going to be retrograde until from August 3rd until like the beginning of January. And this energy is talking about being devoted to yourself in a lot of ways and getting on your path and staying on your path and having the passion to do so again, and having this energy that's sucking your energy out of you, looking into that energy. From the bottom of the deck, the external forces, this is the Strength card. So the Strength card in traditional tarot is when a young woman is digging deep into a lion's mouth, and it's a mature adult lion, but she's doing that because he represents her fears, and she wants to get to the bottom of her fears that maybe might be from her childhood. So I do feel this is talking about something again with this energy. Something that happened, and this could be something that happened in your childhood when you were little, and it could be coming like even before then from the maternal bloodline. There could be some skeletons coming out of the closet here with this Tower energy, I feel. And that's what knocks you into like, hey, wait a minute. It shakes your foundation. We have a major transition happening in your commitments, partnerships, and sometimes spousal energy, a transition happening right on that energy right there. And we have those two towers, and we have anger. So this energy could make you really angry when you find out kind of what's been going on. And it also could be that there's something that happened with your mother, or down your maternal line, your grandmother, great-grandmother, that it's coming out now, and they're still angry because they haven't had justice for it. And this might be something holding back like the whole maternal bloodline. And so really this energy is going to clean all of that energy up. When the justice comes in and the truth comes out, it could be really, challenging, but then it's going to help clean up the bloodline and set things straight. We have perception. So someone felt like the grass is greener on the other side. Mr. shift disturber here. So his perception was that the grass is greener on the other side, and now he's finding out that it's fake. So this energy might have been with this energy here. And then we have the chariot on the chariot. So this is saying it's already spinning, it's happening in the spiritual realm, and it's coming down to the physical. And we have denial. So you may have been like, your intuition's yelling at you about this energy here. And you've been like, I don't want to face this energy, but it knocks you into this energy. And it knocks them right out of your life, basically, it looks like. So you're not in denial anymore. Now you're seeing, all the opportunities that you've been missing out because of all the smoke and mirrors energy. And then we have deception. Yeah. There was a hex in the city, or sex in the city, if you want to look at it from that. There was some sort of deception. You know, what I don't know won't hurt me. The grass is greener on the other side, and then he finds out it's fake. The kiss me in the city, you know, definitely there's been some energy here that you're ready for this new love coming in. You deserve it after what you've been through. I think that's the energy that's coming up. So, and the truth is coming out, and that's that part of that Gemini energy. So I will be doing that reading if you want to watch for it for the full moon coming up. I do have a new spread that I just started out with the new moon, and I really like it, and I'm getting better as I go. So I feel like after a couple more rounds of it, it'll become even more clear. So I do hope you've enjoyed this reading, and thank you for your likes, comments, and your shares, subscribes, all of that good shift. I will be back with another reading astrologically for you soon, and the daily reading for tomorrow. Bye for now.